Hello everyone, Charles Watts here. Welcome back to Inside Arsenal and welcome to the Arsenal training ground. Or, sorry, should I said the Schober Realty Centre, as all the fancy new signs that are all around me here. It's my first visit here this season since pre-season and it is all changed. Schober Realty Training Centre signs absolutely everywhere. Certainly getting the most for their multi-million pound sponsorship. So we're here to speak to Mikel Arteta ahead of Sunday's game against Spurs. Obviously some big talking points to go over. What's he going to say about Martin Odegaard? What's he going to say about Gabriel Jesus, Ricardo Calafiori? How is he going to set his team up without so many key players potentially for this North London derby? So lots of questions for Mikel Arteta to answer. I'm going to head up into the press room right now and get ready to speak to the Arsenal manager. I'll report back afterwards to say what he has had to say. Certainly getting their money worth, aren't they? Right, so we're at the press conference now, and as you can imagine, injury news was a big talking point of the day up there. There's plenty of other things discussed as well. Mikel talking about his contract, and he said he couldn't think of any other place about being at Arsenal, and that's why he wanted to stay. And there's lots of other things discussed. You can find the full transcript of the press conference on the Arsenal.com website if you want to go through it all. But in terms of the sort of big news, certainly the big injury news, I'll run through some of what he had to say. Apologies, you're going to see me looking away from the camera, but I've got my laptop up, so I'm just looking at the full quotes for you. He's obviously asked about Martin Odegaard, and he said, look, on Odegaard, we need some more tests. Let's see what happens in the next day or so, this afternoon probably. Let's see the extent of the injury and how quickly we can get him back. He's super positive about everything. Martin wants to be here every day, but we have to wait and see. He was then asked if Odegaard was hopeful that it wasn't as serious as maybe it could have been. He said, I just have to leave that to the doctor. He's willing and he wants to be present in every game, especially a big game like this. We need to make sure we know first how good he can be or not. He was then asked, so are you not ruling him out of the Spurs game? And he said, players with 48 hours are always available. Let's see what happens. I would be stunned, absolutely stunned, if we get to Tottenham on Sunday and Odegaard's there. This is classic Mikel Arteta when it comes to injuries. We were just talking up in the press room afterwards about how different Arteta is and like Ange Postecoglou is. We've just seen at the Spurs press conference, he's admitted that Van der Ven's fit, he's admitted that Solanke's fit, he's admitted that someone else is out. I can't remember who it was, but he just walks up there and just tells it how it is. Arteta always keeps it very close to his chest. He doesn't want to give everything away. But look, I would be shocked, absolutely shocked, if we get there on Sunday and Martin Odegaard is available. I just cannot see it at all. I mean, we've already had the Norway doctor, basically say it's 3 weeks minimum already this week. On Marino, he was asked how he's getting on. He says, better. It's a slow process because it's a bone and it takes quite a while to heal. He's already doing some stuff and working really hard. We're using this time to make sure he understands a lot of things that he has questions about so that when he is back, he is ready to help the team straight away. He was asked if he could be ready to play after the next international break. And he said, I don't know. Before the next international break. And he said, I don't know. Honestly, with the bone, it's very hard to understand the healing of the bone. At the moment, he has a lot of symptoms. You can speed it up very quickly because he's not lost anything else. But we have to wait and see. So again, with Marino, very similar to Martin Odegaard. I just can't see anything relatively quickly happening with them. If they are back before the international break, then it's a bonus. I'm still thinking it's probably more likely that it's going to be afterwards. There is good news, though, on Gabriel Jesus. As I've been reporting this week, he is fit. He has been training and he is fit well. Mikel says, providing he comes through today's session okay, like he has done the last few sessions, then he's going to be in the squad on Sunday. And obviously that's a big boost for Arsenal. Given what's going on, given the players who are out, you want some other big players available, and Gabriel Jesus is a big player. I think he might start. I'm going to give it another 24 hours. I'll do my predicted 11 tomorrow in tomorrow's show for it. But the fact that he's now fit and the way Arsenal are going to have to rejig things and Kai Havertz is going to have to drop into midfield, if they reckon Jesus can give 70 minutes at his best, I wouldn't be surprised if he starts. It's a great option to have anyway for Arsenal, even if he's just on the bench. It's really, really good news. In terms of what he said about Jesus, he said, Gabby was out there training. He's another session tomorrow. And if everything goes well, he'll be ready to be selected in the squad, which is great news for us. And it is, as I said, really great news that Gabriel Jesus is fit. On Calafiori, he just said he's another one where we have to wait another day or so. So not ruling anything out when it comes to Calafiori. But again, I'd be surprised if Calafiori's available. There's lots of good stuff on Raheem Sterling, whether Raheem Sterling's going to start in this game. He was asked if it's too early to give Sterling a start, and he kind of dodged the issue a little bit. He didn't answer that question. He just said, look, he looks great. He's got a lot of energy, a smile on his face, and he's at it. He wants to prove a point. And when someone's got that in his belly, you sense it straight away. Obviously, I don't need to know anything else about his quality and what he can bring to the team. He was then also asked, which was quite a nice line, he said he only took 10 seconds after speaking to Sterling on deadline day or whenever it was about the possible move. He said he spoke to him and he only needed 10 seconds to make the decision to sign him. I was trying to see if I can find that quote because it's quite nice. Here he goes. He says, in his personal life, a lot of things have changed, but with the player, I wasn't really surprised. The first call I had with him, I knew in the first 10 seconds, we have to bring him in because he really wanted it. That was my only question mark. What stage is he at in his career? After 10 seconds, I knew already before the next questions that we needed him here. So obviously, Raheem Sterling impressed Mikel a lot in that conversation that they had after, on deadline day, whether it was the day before deadline day or on deadline day. And then he spoke about a lot. He spoke about Ange Postecoglou, of course. He was asked about Nwaneri and if there's any sort of qualms of throwing him in straight into a big game. He says we have to adapt to that throughout the season. We are going to have this kind of situation. It has happened very early since the second game. The bench against Brighton was very different to the one we probably all expected. We have to face it and use the opportunity as the kids have given us a lot of hope and right reasons to counter them. If we have to, then we will. That's for sure. Again, I've spoken about it already about Nwaneri. I'd be surprised if this is the game we see him make his first start. I think we definitely will see him soon make his first Arsenal start. I'm just not sure the intensity and everything in the North London derby away from home in a much changed midfield already will be the game to do that. But yeah, interesting stuff from Arteta nonetheless. Like I said, you can get over to the Arsenal.com website and you can read the full transcript of what he had to say. You can find some of it on my website, charleswatts.football, as well, if you want to see what else he had to say ahead of the game against Spurs. But it's a big one. It is an absolutely big one. You could tell that he looked really, really determined. I think I was interested to see what he was going to do in this press conference, how he was going to approach it, because Arteta would have known that the mood around the fan base maybe was a little bit down because of the injuries. There's a lot of concern about how long Odegaard's going to be out for, how Arsenal are going to cope for it. And I wondered if Arteta would come out kind of fighting in this press conference and really try and G everyone up and say, look, we're still here, we're still ready. And he did do that. He was talking about how hungry Arsenal were, how hungry the players were, how they want to go out there and really sort of prove a point against Spurs. It is going to be tough. There's no doubt about it. It's going to be difficult given the injuries that Arsenal have got and the key players that they've got missing. But this is still a good team. Mikel was very, very keen to point that out in this press conference, and he expects them to deliver a good performance. So whether they do, ultimately, that's up to them, and we'll find that out on Sunday at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. But that's it from me here at London Colney, the Showboat Realty Training Centre. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And I'll be back tomorrow to do my usual show, of course. And like I said, if you want to get involved in that show, name your starting 11, the preferred 11 you would like to see, or you think Mikel Arteta should go for, then get down into the comments, leave that 11, and I'll bring some of them together and get them included in tomorrow's show. Until then, everyone, have a fantastic day. Enjoy your Friday night. Speak to you soon. Bye-bye.